It's me, your favorite F-list guide from Chama, New Mexico. Today I'm here at El Vado, which is Spanish for the Vado. They put a bunch of stalkers in here, so I thought it would be a great time to talk about 5 tips for better Euro nymphing. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tips. That was so bad. Tip 1. You guys are going to want to pay attention to this. Actually, it doesn't matter. If you don't like this video, just unsubscribe and skip it. But fluorocarbon over nylon, and I think everyone's beat this horse to death. I'm going to do it again. I prefer the falling mill tippet. I really like fishing it in half sizes. Fluorocarbon is more abrasion resistant, and fluorocarbon also doesn't stretch. So tip 1, use Flouro. So tip number 2 is rigging. Today you have to decide, where you're going to put your heavier fly, as with all days. My heavier fly today is going to be on the dropper because I want both of my flies to ride in basically the same band of the water column. High flows, you can see it's really muddy. So heavy fly to the dropper, I'm going depth to the dropper, which is my heavy fly, and then I'm spacing about 24 inches apart to an egg pattern, or as I like to call it, a sphere canvas.
Oh, I need someone to love me.
Yo, are we rolling? This is perfect Instagram light. Yo, Branford Boucher, hit me with that beef stick. That didn't work out. Alright, tip 27. Before that, we're rolling. Alright, Branford Boucher, hit me with that beef stick. Obviously, I didn't play baseball. But what I do play is fly fishing, and a lot of risk. What we're going to talk about is the next tip in our Euro nymphing series, which is working runs from near to far, shallow to deep. Too many people want to go to the most obvious current, or the thaw wag, but we're just going to carve our way across and see if we can't catch some Germanic browns. Oh. This is a really hot tip, guys. This is definitely a pro tip. Yeah, no, it's not.
But
Yo, dog, hit me with that beef stick one more time, chief. So as I was saying, you want to work shallow to deep, near to far, covering those runs and trying to extract every fish that you possibly can. America. Tip Quattro. So like 2 days ago, I dropped a box with over 600 flies in it in the river, and I'm kind of just left with the trash. Don't judge me, I know there's a plethora of mops, worm hybrids, and a bunch of nasty garbage, and that's because I'm a gigantic tool. But also, what you should note is that there's various bead sizes in there, and that's number 4 for the tip. Think about flies in terms of the bead size to get the ideal drift rather than the hook size. So like this is a size 16 fly with a 3.8 millimeter bead. This is a size 16 fly with a 2.8 millimeter bead, and this is a size 16 fly with a 3.3 millimeter bead. It's broken though, it's kind of just a souvenir, but think about bead size to dial in that perfect drip. That's tip number 1, 2, 3, 4. It's me, Tree Jordan, and I'm here to give you tip number 5. We're just going to talk about engaging the sighter. So if you can't see the sighter and this video comes out trash and I can't Euro nymph, I'm just going to leave this in here. But I could do a different video about it if you guys like, so holler at me. But engaging the sighter. So, the more horizontal that your sighter positioning is, right, those flies are going to be in line behind it. Earlier we talked about the position of where you want your heavier flies, if you want both kind of in the same column or hitting 2 bands of the water column. And also with sighter engagement, sometimes you can lead it, stall it out, really get vertical, drop the flies deeper, engaging right away, keeping the flies up and off the bottom. But really paying attention to what the sighter is doing and developing a mental map of where your flies are, not only subsurface, but in the column. So I hope that helps. I'm gonna try to catch a fish out of here. It's shallow up top and it buckets out. So I'm gonna engage the sighter quick, back off, let it get vertical, and try to pick up a fish on the drop or on a jig. So we'll see. It's that easy.